Hello folks, shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you another wrestling review. I'm of course joined today by my lackey and faithful cohort, Joe. Say hi, Joe. He had a little bit too much eggnog. Well, it's 2011, new year and a new Raw, the first Raw of the new year. I know, I'm probably a little late behind my Raw and TNA wrestling promos, but well, it was the holidays between Christmas and New Year's, and between getting sick. I lost my voice, so I wasn't able to talk or anything. So this is the first time my first video where I'm feeling well enough to actually do something. Well, anyway, let's get down to it. It's the first Raw of the new year, and what a way to start off with a title match. But first, Michael Cole gets on the camera and states that John Cena was injured during a house show with Wade Barrett, so he could be out for a while. I think it was a leg injury or something. I don't know. I have to look it up. But and Jerry the King Lawler's not there because the week prior, Miz attacked him while Cole was reading an email from the general manager, and so he's at home recuperating. So Josh Matthews will be filling in for him tonight. And what a way to start off things. We start with a world title match between Miz versus the Sex, John Morrison, in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Now, this match really, this was a great match. It was an excellent match between two very young and very gifted superstars. This match cemented that The Miz deserved to be champion, and it was also a good one for John Morrison to build him up for this match. This match was all over, and we had a lot of high spots done by John Morrison. He even jumped off the WWE logo onto Morrison and onto Miz and A-Rye. At one point, he places Alex Riley on a barricade and then does a flying knee jump. I don't know if that was real or not, but it looked hella painful, and Alex Riley was out of the match. So it was just Miz, Morrison. It was a lot of back and forth action. It was just a great match in and of itself. They two have great chemistry in the ring, and they've been tag team partners, so they know each other extremely well. Morrison goes to hit the Starship Pain outside the ring through a table, but misses. But he's still not counted. He still kicks out of a cover after that. So Miz gets him up. Skull-crushing finale. Miz retains. But this was a good match. Sure, I would have liked to have seen it at the Rumble, but I'm glad I'm glad they pulled out all the stops for this one. It could be match of the year candidate, but still, like I said, this is the first Raw of the new year, so we still have a lot of way to go. But as I've told some of my friends on the forums, Miz and Morrison could lead the way for a new generation for all these young guns that are coming up to take over the main event spots. So later on tonight, it's announced that for the #1 contendership to Miz's title, who will face him at the Royal Rumble, they'll have a triple threat steel cage match. Next match is a 6 diva tag match between Melina, Marlies, and Alicia Fox versus the Bellas and one of the Bellas. I can't tell which. Who is that? I don't know, Maria or some shit. I don't know her name. And the Divas champion Natalya. Overall, it was a skippable match. I wouldn't watch it. I just wouldn't watch it. It's just not my cup of tea. Anyway, what else? Next match pits the Usos versus the tag champions Kozlov and Santino. Overall, another skippable match. I really wouldn't give the time of day. I just didn't care for it. I mean, it's the fact that the tag team division in the WWE is dead. But the Usos pick up a victory, which means they should be #1 contenders. I don't know. But it doesn't save them from getting taken out by Tamina and Santino doing the double Cobra. Anyway, next up, we have a next segment is CM Punk comes out and he does an excellent heelish promo. I mean, for those who don't know, CM Punk is now the new leader of Nexus. And he goes out, he says, I'm looking for John Cena everywhere. I've been looking for him everywhere, but I can't see him. He really hams it up. CM Punk knows how to cut a heel promo. Then old Mobile Mouth comes out and he says, wait a minute. You can't do that. I'm the leader of Nexus. We're bad. So the two of them get into a kind of an argument back and forth until the rest of Nexus come out. And they both agree that both of them could have potential, have great credentials for being leader. Then the Raw GM chimes in and says that the people competing in the #1 contenders match, it will be Randy Orton, King Lobsterhead, aka Sheamus, and out of Punk and Wade Barrett. Punk decides to play the devil's advocate and says that he will bow out and let Barrett have the shot. He also says that if Barrett wins, not only will he win the title, will he win the #1 contendership, but Punk will not challenge him anymore as leader of Nexus. He will follow him and do whatever he says. But on the flip side, if Barrett is unable to win the match, he is out of Nexus. They shake hands and they agree, and then later on we go backstage and we see Barrett trying to rally up the troops saying, I did this for you. I made you all champions. Yeah, you were all my champions. And then Punk comes in like, I just want to say I wish you the best of luck in your match. And so Barrett leaves and Punk shakes all the hands of the other Nexus members, so you know the fix is in. Next match is Alberto Del Rio, the finest thing in life, comes out and he says it is his destiny to win the Royal Rumble and be headline WrestleMania and become WWE Heavyweight Champion. Wink. Then R-Truth comes out, and for the first time in my entire life, I actually agree with Michael Cole. Him coming out rapping is just a waste of TV time, and it annoys me. I used to like R-Truth, now he just annoys me. Then he perhaps says one of the most blatantly racist things I've ever heard him say. He says that he's gonna beat Del Rio so bad he'll go back to where he came from. You can take racist. I mean, he should have just said beat him back to SmackDown, but where he came from, that's pretty bad. But anyway, Del Rio beats the piss out of R-Truth for making that comment and beats him 1, 2, 3. He's got to get up ahead of steam for the Rumble. Next, the other main event between Barrett, Sheamus, and Randy Orton. Who says that last year he was being nicer than he was this year? So he's gonna be extra ruthless this year. So anyway, the match starts and the psychology was a little bit off in this one. I don't know what it was. It just seemed weird in places. It was very back and forth, all of them trying to beat the living crap out of each other. Towards the end of the match, Sheamus and Orton are both down, and Barrett comes up and tries to climb out of the cage, which the only way to win this particular steel cage match is escape. So he starts climbing the cage, and then CM Punk comes up, climbs the cage, offers him his hand. Barrett takes his hand, but Punk just did it so he could rip the necklace armband right off his arm, and then kicks him back down before leaving. Then some more little bit of wrestling until Randy Orton, of course, leaves and is now the new #1 contender and will face The Miz at the Rumble later on this month. Overall thoughts: it was a good Raw. Save for some shitty points, it was a good way to begin the year. Both main events were good. The title match was especially good, and Punk's promo was out of sight. I mean, hail Punk. Yes, right. One Nexus under Punk with straight edge and diet soda for all. That's right. Well, since Also, I would normally end it off right here, but I decided to incorporate a little bit of ROH action because after Final Battle, I'm gonna. I mean, well, I'll leave it up to you. Do you want me to do a separate video for ROH now, or do you want me to make it a package deal for Raw and ROH? Just let me know in the comments, and I'll see whatever you guys decide you want me to do. I'll do it. Anyway, ROH was pretty good this week. We had the television champion Eddie Edwards defend against one half of the Briscoe brothers, Jay Briscoe. It was an awesome match. Eddie Edwards really sells that TV title, even though he'll later lose it to Christopher Daniels. It was a great match, and it really showed that both of them are coming out of their tag teams a bit, and they can stand it on the independent circuit. Especially Davey Richards. I got to give it up to Davey Richards. Davey Richards, you're the man. Let's see what. Next match was between Mike Mondo versus Grizzly Edwards. Now, for those who don't know who Mike Mondo is, I just found this out just tonight. But Mike Mondo is actually Mikey from the Spirit Squad. That's right, Mikey from the Spirit Squad. Yep, they're all over the place. It was a pretty decent match. Mike looked very good in this match. He looked better than he was when he was the Spirit Squad. Well, anyone looks better when they were not in the Spirit Squad. Look at Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, that's right. Dolph Ziggler was a member of the Spirit Squad. Next match was between the I'll just call them the Jobber Boys versus the debuting of the world's greatest tag team. That's right, Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin. And this is their first match on ROH since their match at a few months ago against the Kings of Wrestling. It was a basic squash match just to make the Kings of Wrestling, make the boys look good. But the world's greatest tag team pulled it out, won with the House of Pain. It was a good match. It made them look awesome. Well, they are awesome. So anyway, we move on to the main event, pitting the notorious 187 Homicide against one half of the Kings of Wrestling, Claudio Castagnoli. Now, I'm going to say this. I haven't said this on here yet, but I love the Kings of Wrestling's theme song. I mean, it was a theme song made. It's good when a tag team has a theme song that matches them, but when you have a theme song that's made specifically for them, then you got a great theme song. I mean, just look at Beer Money. That's a great theme song. The Motor City Machine Guns had a great theme song. It's just awesome. And this was a good match. I mean, Homicide, he did a great thing by going back to ROH, and now he's undefeated since he came back. And it was a great match to see him in. I mean, and the commentators were right. Homicide is very underrated. I mean, he is one of the best in the world right now. I mean, he can do it all. He's excellent. He has excellent mat sense, and he's good with technical wrestling. He can do lucha libre style. He can brawl. He does it all. So, and from what I understand, at the next pay-per-view, he's getting a title shot against Roderick Strong. So, good luck with you, Homicide. Hope to see you do good. But anyway, it was a great match between Homicide and Castagnoli, but Homicide remains defeated. So, he's getting a good push. Got a lot of momentum going in for the world title. Overall thoughts, it's great. Like pretty much any of ROH's HD net. I get HD net so I can watch it every Monday, but a lot of people can't. So try to catch it online if you can. But ROH is a good show. It's a great show. They just focus solely on the wrestling. There's some story in it, but they don't let it bog down the wrestling and the talent in the ring like some other companies that I won't talk to because I don't want to rant about. But if ROH keeps going the way they're going, I can see big things happening for them in the future, and everyone's going to be talking about ROH. So whatever you're doing over there, James Cornette, you keep doing it. Just keep doing it and keep making a great wrestling promotion. So overall, those are my thoughts for ROH and Raw. Raw was good. ROH was better. So I'd catch both of them, mainly for the title match between Miz and Morrison. Those two, they're going to be the future right there. So anyway, this is Shintigercurl and Joe. saying see you later and keep on wrestling.